Hi there, it's Simone. Today I would like to share my 2020 lineup with you. It is less, I think, than 2019, but we will see. So I am going to use these two notebooks covers for planning and this one for memory keeping. This will stay at home. And this is the one and only thing that I will carry with me that I need for planning. So these two are 4 notebooks in total. There is a Stalogy, I keep repeating that. If you watched my other video, I said 6 before. This is a Stalogy A6 notebook that I will use as, I don't want to say bullet journal because it is set up like a planner. I will take notes as the bullet journal notebook, the bullet journal method book suggests, or I'm trying to at least, because I think that makes sense. But in a broader view, this wouldn't probably be a bullet journal. I have already started to set this book up, and if you want to see a closer look at this specific book in here, I have a video linked in the cards up here and in the description box below. The other part that I have in here is a weekly insert from the Hobonichi store. I am not sure that I will be using this consistently throughout next year, but as I am transitioning from a weekly view planner in 2019, I was a bit afraid that I would lose sight of the whole week when I'm moving into this and I'm using this as daily pages, that I went the safe route, ordered this when I ordered my Hobonichi products, and I will start out with this, but if it's not going to work or if I don't need it, then I will abandon it. So this is what I'm taking with me everywhere. Everything that I need to write down can go in here. There is blank pages, nothing is set. So if I go to a back to school night and I want to take notes, I will put a title on the next open page and write my notes. And then if there is something on here that I need to transfer somewhere else, I can do that when I'm home. This stays home. Oh, maybe I should tell you what this is. This is a Hobonichi cover. I think this one is actually from the 2019 lineup. I will link the specific cover, name of the cover, and the cover and cover in the description box below. I purchased it because I liked it. It wasn't super expensive, and I purposefully did not purchase a leather cover because I'm not sure that this is what I'm going to use forever, and so I didn't want to invest in one. So I went with this. And then this is a Midori Traveler's Notebook cover. This is my very first Traveler's Notebook cover that I purchased, and it is still my favorite leather cover. There is a charm. This is a coffee cup on the front here, and it houses 2 notebooks. In the beginning, I have started transitioning into this new system when I reflected on the way I was planning, when I noticed that it didn't really work out for me as I liked. That was back in October, and I originally had each of those notebooks in separate notebook covers, but I have since realized that it is okay to have these 2 notebooks together. I do not like traveler's notebooks that are very chunky. This is about the size that I'm still comfortable with, and so I made the decision that it's okay for me to have these books in here. Since this is not being taken out of the house, I do not have to be concerned about the weight or anything, which isn't an issue with this anyway. So I put these 2 notebooks on an elastic. It is also from the Traveler's Company, and I slid it underneath this one right here. And then I have a plastic folder that is also a Traveler's Company folder around here. It is pretty old, it is breaking, but I'm still going to use this. I haven't really decorated any of this yet. This is how it was from the last time I used this. That might sound odd. I still haven't really figured out how I want to use this or what I want to put in here, and for the time being I'm absolutely fine with the way this looks. Once I have ideas for this, I still have time. I still have all of 2020 to make this pretty. And I know there will be a time that I want to make it pretty, and I'm just gonna wait for that to happen. These two notebooks, this one is a Foxy Fix dot grid insert. It has, I don't know what the specifics of this paper are. I will link it in the description box below. I'm not sure they post it on their website. It is quite thick. It is dot grid. It is very white and bright. And I use this as a reference notebook. So it is, in bullet journaling terms, this would be collections. More so all the things that I'm referencing. So I wouldn't put in TV shows or anything like that that I might want to check off, because for me, I have tried making these kinds of collections. They just don't really work for me. I use this as a planning assistant. It houses reoccurring tasks, shops that I might want to purchase from, a wish list, a perpetual birthday calendar, meals that we like to eat, groceries, or the shops that we go to and the groceries that we usually buy there, an index, and this free printable from Job's journal. I will link him in the description box below as well. And then the back of this houses information that I do not want to show on YouTube, and I decided to put it back there so I'm not accidentally flipping over it. It is my kids' school information, and this will actually I will put this into this planner as well, because after I put it there I realized that if I'm not taking this places with me and I need to call the schools from someplace else, I don't have the information on there. And this is more of a project notebook. I cut down an idea book from Kokuyo. I still had it in my stash. It is usually the A5 slim size, and I just cut it down to be the same size as a standard traveler's notebook insert. And I'm using this to break down all the projects that I'm working on at the moment. It was important for me that it had lots of pages, that it was thin paper, so that I could have lots of pages without it being too fat. I have all the projects, like knitting projects, creative projects. I think somewhere here I have been working on monthly and weekly reviews. Reviews where I will review what I have been trying to do each week, and making it a routine, a list, which is actually in this here. And I have been, so that was one of the projects, and I had put down all the steps that I need to make or do in order to finish the project are here. And when I'm usually planning my month, then I will look through this list and all the projects that I'm going or planning on working on during that specific month. First of all, I'm checking off all the steps that I have finished, completed during the current month, and the next step, the next action that I need to take for this project will then move to my monthly to-do list. as you can see, some are very small. This one is already finished and I only used the top of the page. So I'm not really sure that the size of this notebook is working. I'll just use this until it's done, and then once I'm done, I will reassess the situation. I have started to put multiple projects on here because I know that the book, the bullet journal method, is this long. There is nothing else that I need to write down for this, and so I know that I have this space. I wanted to make one project per page so that when I have several steps that I need to take, but maybe I don't really know yet what they are, that I have enough space. But as you can see, and as I said before, this looks like it's a bit too much space. But that's okay. I'm trying to use, one of my main goals for 2020 is to work mainly from my stash and use up all the things that I have, or destash them if I know I won't be using them. And so this was what I had. This was a Tomoe River insert, and so that's what I'm going to use. And nice thing, it's not another notebook. It's housed in one thing and it's the same. So that's what made the size appealing to me. I am using mainly, I'm not sure, this is like the relict from 2019 planning. This was what I was taking with me everywhere. A pencil, this 3-colored Hobonichi pen. It is a Jetstream, Uniball Jetstream. So I purchased these pens from Amazon as well. They have 3 colors, black, blue, and red. And I used to color code my appointments and routine things that would my weekly schedule in black. I would put to-dos in red, and then if I had notes that I wrote down during the day, I would put them down in blue. And then, yeah, the pencil for meals and steps and all that stuff. And then for highlighting things, I usually used 2 different mild liners. One was for making my work hours more visible, and the other one was to highlight tasks that I hadn't finished and that I needed to transfer to the next week. I usually swap these out every month. I don't really know if this is what I'm going to continue in the new year. I'm just gonna move it over there and see if it works. I have this blue that I really think would work absolutely nicely with this. So maybe I'll stick this on here, and if I'm on the go, I can take this. But if I'm at home, traveling from the couch to the desk, to the table, to the kitchen counter, maybe I will take this as well. So that is what I use for planning. I then use this. This is a Hobonichi Weeks for memory keeping and journaling. I'm not really photo journaling anymore right now. I still take photos, but it's just not my main focus at the moment. And I'm not really using the photos and documenting, printing them. I want to do that at some point, but right now is not the time for me to do that. So I'm using this regular Hobonichi Weeks. It is the Tokyo Towers edition. I'm not a big fan of the design. That's why I put some scrapbooking paper in the front. I'm not sure if this is going to stay like this for the whole year. Right now, it's just not my favorite. I have some photos. I still need to add one more, and I also have an introduction video to this. Again, I will link it up here if you're interested in a more in-depth look. And what I'm doing on the weekly pages, I am writing about the things that I'm doing and trying to focus on the feelings and the things that are important to me, not like the repetitive things like cooking or picking up the kids from school, going to this weekly event that we're going to every week. I don't want to document these things, but what I want to document is if I was super tired, if I was really happy that somebody at work said something to me. I want to document these things. And so far it has been working really great. I am using this right side to journal about some other things as well. Like if there is something that is bothering me, that makes me extremely happy, that doesn't have space over here, I'm gonna use more space over here. And if you are familiar with the weekly setup, the week's setup, there are faint division lines right here that would align with the days over here. And so I'm not using it as a guide, strictly as a guide, but it is a really nice guidance to see how much space I am using every day. This week I haven't really journaled a lot. It is Thursday now, and you can see I'm here. I have put down something on Tuesday, didn't put anything on Wednesday, haven't filled this one out, and haven't filled anything out for Tuesday, Wednesday, or today yet. I just got back from work, so that's not something that I'm concerned about. This is not very usual for me. I have been actually keeping up with this very well. This usually sits on my desk right here. I have my watercolor palette, and my brush, which I can't find right now. Oh, right here. Right next to it. I use it all the time, and I journal daily. Since this is just this tiny amount of journaling space, I get my daily journaling fix without it being overwhelming. And it has taken me a long time to realize that I can enjoy something in small doses without it being very excessive. I'm very prone to doing things very excessively and then being overwhelmed by them. And so this totally works for me right now. I hope it will continue to work during all of 2020, because I would be so happy if this was filled with memories, feelings, and all of that stuff, and I could look back on my year and have all the things down here. I am using this for ephemera stuff, collages, and yeah, so that's that. I am using this Muji pen in 0.08 to write in here. I don't know if I'm going to change it up yet. I haven't been using this for a long enough time. At the moment, this is working for me, and once I'm settled and more comfortable and I want to experiment, I will totally do that. So that's what I'm using on a daily basis. This is my lineup for 2020. That is so funny. I have to go off on a tangent, and I'm just gonna put this away and grab some other things. I think I know how to pronounce things. I can hear them in my head. I know what they're supposed to sound like, but when I say them, they sound differently. And especially when I'm listening back to videos and I know that the way I'm pronouncing 2020 isn't how I would want to pronounce it. It's funny, it's tiny, you can all understand me, but still it's so funny when I listen back to the video and I'm like, nope, this doesn't sound right. Okay, so I have more notebooks. These are things that I use occasionally. They are set up, but I am not really using them for any, well, this is for planning as well, but they are not, I wouldn't consider them part of my planner lineup. This I use to write down goals. I have started doing this in August and it has been working really nicely. I took some notes on smarter goal setting. I want to explore this even more. And then I started by doing aspirations and reviewing my goals quarterly, but that kind of didn't work. And so I went in August, I think what I did was, no, in October actually. Wow, I thought it was August that I went to monthly goals. And I have been doing this for the whole year basically. And it works really well. It's like the thing that I'm doing before I even go into my monthly planning. I go here, I look at what did I want to do. I have several categories that I want to cover during each month, and I think of things that I want to do, and then I put them down, and then I look into my projects notebook and see if the projects, some of these projects are like ongoing projects that span over several months, half a year, stuff like that. And so I have them in my projects notebook. If I don't have a project in my notebook, I will add it, and then I will get going on it. And it feels, maybe it's just an illusion, that that goal setting works for me that way. It's just a question if I'm reaching the right goals for me, or the ones that I'm supposed to be reaching. I use this TWSBI Echo with a medium nib to write in here. I don't know why I'm so specific with that right now. The color that I'm using to write is Lexington Gray from Noodlers, and I use, yeah, that's how I use, what I use with this notebook. I also have another fountain pen. I think it's black, but I haven't really used it anywhere. Maybe I should try and see and use it in my Stalogy notebook. Then this is my knitting and sewing journal. I have all of my document all of the creative projects that I start in here. If you are familiar with Ravelry, this is my offline Ravelry, my projects gallery. Yeah, I document when I start a project. I add photos, I add ephemera that I pick up along the line that I don't want to, where I purchase from what shop. And I'm on my second notebook right now. I haven't updated it in a while, and that's totally fine. The pen that I'm using in here is stuck right on the binder clip here, and it's fun, and I use it occasionally. And yeah, I will definitely be updating this soon. And also, there is a flip through of this coming soon. Last notebook that I have set up is something like a reading journal or a notes journal, where a learning book maybe. So I put down 2019. I will then make another page that says 2020, and then I can continue writing down notes. I took notes on the bullet journal note method book. I'm not done taking notes, that's why I left space, but if I'm running out of space here, I will just go to the next page. Then I took notes on a video that I was interested in and that I didn't want to forget, so I put it here. And yeah, right now I'm knitting a lot. I'm not reading many books that I want to take notes on. But if this comes back again, or if there's videos that I want to take notes, I'm able to, and I can. And I'm using this TWSBI again. It's a TWSBI Echo, but this one is a T, Echo T for a triangular. It's a fine nib, and the color that I'm using in here is just regular Noodler's black. And yeah, it's almost empty. And that is it for my 2020 lineup. Let's put them all back in here. These are the notebooks that I have on my shelf, and these are the ones that I more or less frequently use. Let me know what you are using for 2020. Are you changing it up completely? Oops, I wanted to put it right here in the center. Or are you continuing the same system that you had? I personally feel that the way this is turning out and the direction that my planning and journaling and everything is taking, I feel like I am settled in many things, in many ways, and I'm really happy about that. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to keep you much longer. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you soon. Leave a comment below. I would love to chat with you, and Happy New Year.